The night on the outer rim of the galaxy was silent, calm, and peaceful. The research station Varon 7 floated above a dim blue star, its surface shining like a small metal island in a sea of darkness. The scientists living there were not soldiers. They studied planets, minerals, and harmless space bacteria. Fighting was the last thing they ever trained for. But peace never lasts in space. Without warning, the alarm lights turned red. The ground shook under everyone's feet. A deep, violent sound echoed through the station halls, an explosion at the outer dock. Commander Tyrak, leader of Varon 7, rushed to the control room. His breath froze when he saw the screens. A raider group known for destroying stations had arrived. Their ships were black, sharp, and hungry-looking. These raiders had no mercy, no rules, and no sense of honor. They preyed on weak stations with no protection, just like Varon 7. Tyrak shouted, "Send the SOS signal now. Broadcast in every direction." A young technician pressed the emergency button. A bright pulse shot out from the station like a scream traveling through the dark. It was a universal distress beacon, simple, powerful, and full of fear. Everyone hoped it would reach a friendly system. But hope was thin. The raiders fired again. A shockwave hit the station, throwing scientists to the floor. Machines sparked. Lights flickered. The main support ring suffered heavy damage. Tyrak held onto the control board and tried to stay calm. Shields dropping, someone cried. Power engines failing, another voice shouted. The raiders were getting closer. Meanwhile, the SOS signal kept traveling, moving past star systems and asteroid belts. It crossed empty regions where no life existed. It continued through dead zones and broken colonies. Then something strange happened. Far away from Varon 7, in a forgotten part of space, a massive metal structure suddenly lit up. No one had seen it before. Dust and darkness covered it for centuries. It was an old human relay tower, built long ago before humans disappeared from the galaxy. When the SOS reached it, old circuits woke from their long sleep. The tower vibrated and projected a warning message in a human voice. Emergency signal received. Source, Varon 7. Civilian life in danger. The relay tower sent the message even deeper into space, toward a hidden region where ancient human ships rested in silence. These ships were once called the Deathworlder Predator Fleet. They were built by humans, the most feared species in the galaxy. Humans came from a place so dangerous that even their forests and oceans were deadly. The galaxy used to call humanity Deathworlders, a name filled with both respect and fear. But humans vanished long ago. No one knew why. Their planets were empty. Their cities silent. Many believed humans were gone forever. Their ships, however, were not gone. They were sleeping. The SOS reached the giant flagship buried inside a dark nebula, the Iron Requiem, a legendary warship with armor strong enough to survive a star's death. For hundreds of years, its engines were cold. Now, one by one, its systems lit up. Blue lights flooded the interior. Old computers woke. Weapons came online. The main AI core activated and spoke in a deep, calm voice. Distress call detected. Initiating defense protocol. Inside the ship, a faint hologram of Earth, a memory, glowed for a moment before fading again. Back on Varon 7, the situation was becoming hopeless. The raiders had disabled the outer shields completely. Fire spread through the engineering level. Scientists struggled to hold the doors shut. Tyrak watched the raiders' primary ship charging its weapons for a final attack. There was no help. No fleet. No soldiers. Only fear. One scientist whispered, "Commander, no one is coming. Nobody heard us." Tyrak felt his heart sink. He was about to speak when the lights flickered again, this time not from damage, but from something outside. Something huge. A shadow passed across the station. Then the stars disappeared behind a giant shape. The Iron Requiem had arrived. Its massive body blocked half of the sky. The raider ship suddenly froze in confusion. They had never seen a vessel like this. Its surface was covered in heavy armor plates, glowing with ancient human design. A message came through every frequency at once. This is human vessel Iron Requiem. Civilians identified. Hostile forces detected. Prepare to be neutralized. The scientists stared at each other in disbelief. Humans were gone. But their fleet had awakened. And it answered their SOS. The Iron Requiem hung in silent power above Varon 7, its giant metal body glowing with soft blue engine light. It looked like a sleeping beast finally opening its eyes after centuries. The scientists on the station had never seen anything like it. To them, the ship felt alive, as if it was watching everything with calm confidence. Inside the flagship, old machinery moved for the first time in hundreds of years. Heavy doors slid open. Energy flowed like blood through metal veins. Holographic screens lit up, showing maps of star systems, attack patterns, and life signatures. At the center of all this activity was the ship's AI, Sable. Her voice echoed through the long, empty corridors. Mission protocol activated. Civilians in danger. Raider threat confirmed. Even though she had no physical body, her presence felt strong, like a commander planning moves on a battlefield. Sable scanned the raider fleet. Their weapons were weak compared to the ancient human technology inside the Iron Requiem. Their armor was thin. Their engines were slow. Yet they were still a threat to the defenseless scientists on Varon 7. The AI calculated one thing clearly. The Predator fleet must reawaken fully. Far across space, 3 more sleeping human warships received the same signal. Storm Fong, a long, spear-shaped cruiser built for speed and precision strikes. Ashen Blade, a heavy destroyer armored like a moving fortress. Dusk Hunter, a stealth corvette famous for disappearing inside shadows. These ships had once been the pride of humanity during their golden age. Now, after centuries of silence, their engines roared back to life. Old dust burned away. Frozen pipes warmed again. Lights flickered on inside dark command halls. One by one, they turned toward the Iron Requiem's position. Back at Varon 7, inside the control room, the scientists watched all of this happening on their screens. Their faces were pale from shock and disbelief. Even Tyrak, who always acted calm, could not hide the tremble in his hands. "How many ships?" "Woke up," whispered one technician. "All of them," Tyrak answered quietly. "Every human ship in this sector." Another scientist added, "But humans disappeared thousands of cycles ago. So why, is their fleet still responding?" Tyrak shook his head. "Maybe their machines never forgot their orders." Outside the station windows, the raiders didn't know what to do. Their attack stopped completely. Their ships floated in confusion, engines shaking as they tried to decide whether to fight or run. Their commander shouted across the channel. "Identify yourself. What species are you?" The Iron Requiem replied with a cold, emotionless answer. "Identity, human warship. Directive, protect life. Warning, hostile behavior detected." The raider commander froze. Stories about humans were old myths, whispers about dangerous creatures from a deadly world. A species that lived on storms, fought wild beasts, and survived impossible environments. Many believed humans were extinct. But standing in front of them now, was a ship built by these same creatures. The raiders panicked. Some ships turned to flee. Others charged weapons out of desperation. But the Predator fleet did not wait for them to act first. Sable's voice filled the Iron Requiem again. "Raider retreat detected. Pursuit authorization granted. Summoning allied vessels." A bright flash erupted behind the station. Storm Fang, Ashen Blade, and Dusk Hunter arrived together, forming a tight triangle around the raiders. Their engines glowed like three blue suns. The air around them vibrated with raw energy. Inside Varon 7, technicians gasped. There are more of them. They came from nowhere. It's like the galaxy woke up. Tyrak stared in silent awe. No, it's like humanity woke up. The Predator fleet now outnumbered the raiders 3-1. But numbers didn't matter. Human ships were stronger even when alone. Together, they were terrifying. The Iron Requiem gave the final warning. Surrender immediately. Weapons will be disabled. Last chance. But raiders were known for pride and anger, not wisdom. Their commander screamed, "Fire everything." The space around the station exploded into chaos. Laser blasts shot from raider ships. Missiles streaked toward the Predator fleet. But the human warships moved like dancers, smooth, controlled, and precise. Storm Fang dodged missiles with expert ease, leaving bright trails behind. Ashen Blade absorbed heavy fire without taking a single scratch. Dusk Hunter vanished into a dark patch of space like a ghost. Then the Predator fleet fired back. Blue beams cut through enemy armor like paper. Railgun shots shattered raider engines. Missiles exploded so close that raider ships broke into pieces instantly. Inside Varon 7, the scientists watched in silent shock as the battle unfolded like a storm controlled by human hands. Tyrak whispered, "They are not fighting like machines, they are Phi." Tyrak whispered, "They are not fighting like machines, they are fighting like warriors who never forgot how." The part ends with one last moment. Sable, with calm precision, announces. Primary threat neutralized. Preparing for rescue operations. The Predator fleet had awakened. And it was only the beginning. The battlefield around Varon 7 looked like a silent storm frozen in time. Pieces of destroyed raider ships drifted slowly across the dark sky. Sparks, fire trails, and broken metal floated everywhere like shattered stars. The Predator fleet had ended the battle quickly, but the air still felt heavy, as if the galaxy itself was holding its breath. Inside Varon 7, the scientists slowly stood up from behind desks, walls, and broken equipment. They had been hiding during the fight. When they finally looked out the windows, they saw the most unbelievable sight of their lives. For human warships, silent, shining, ancient, and terrifying, stood guard around their tiny station like giant metal guardians. Commander Tyrak felt his hands shaking. He had heard stories about humans since he was a child. His teachers described humans as creatures from a deadly world who had survived impossible conditions. They were strong, fast, smart, and fearless. Everything on their planet could kill them: storms, beasts, disease, even the weather. So humans evolved to become fighters by nature. Now, seeing the Predator fleet, Tyrak understood something important. Human ships were built the same way humans lived: strong, aggressive, and nearly unstoppable. On the main screen, life signs from the raiders dropped fast. Not because the Predator fleet was cruel, but because the raiders had chosen violence over surrender. Sable's voice filled the space around the Iron Requiem. Threat neutralized. Scanning for survivors. Her voice carried no anger, no joy, no pride, only purpose. She was doing exactly what humanity had created her to do: protect life. The raiders' last surviving ship tried to escape through a debris field. Its engines flickered and sputtered. Inside it, the raider captain barked panicked orders. "Move! Faster! We must get out of the firing zone." But there was nowhere to run. A shadow appeared behind them: Dusk Hunter. The stealth corvette emerged from darkness like a quiet phantom. No lights. No sound. Just a cold shape drifting closer. Before the raider ship could even react, a soft voice from the Dusk Hunter projected across the raider channel. Stop running. It was not a threat. It felt like calm advice. The raider captain trembled. He knew human ships did not miss their shots. He shut down his engines. The last raider ship surrendered completely without a fight. Back on Varon 7, the scientists saw this on the monitors. The room filled with whispers. They stopped running just from one message. Humans must have been real monsters on the battlefield. No wonder the galaxy feared them. Tyrak did not speak. He was staring at the Iron Requiem's massive structure, thinking deeply. This ship was not acting like a mindless war machine. It showed discipline, purpose, control. It protected first and attacked only when needed. Tyrak slowly realized. Humans were not monsters. They were protectors. Strong ones. Suddenly, a loud beep echoed in the Varon 7 control room. A message appeared on all their screens simultaneously. The sender, Iron Requiem, Human AI Command Node. Every scientist froze. No one dared touch the controls. The message opened on its own. Varon 7, status check required. Report survivors and injuries. The scientists looked at each other. They're asking if we're okay, someone whispered. Yes, Tyrak said. The warships want to help us. Another message followed. Human medical drones prepared. Request permission to dock. This simple request shocked the entire room. The same giant fleet that destroyed raiders with deadly precision, was now politely asking permission to help injured aliens. Tyrak quickly responded, permission granted. The humans rescued drones launched from the Iron Requiem. They were small, silver, and shaped like floating triangles with soft blue lights. They moved in perfect formation toward Varon 7. As they entered the station, the doors gently slid open for them. The drones scanned every room, every injured scientist, every damaged wall. They used bright white healing beams on burns and cuts. They lifted fallen debris. They stabilized broken structures. Children of the station peeked from behind their parents and watched the drones curiously. One brave child walked forward and touched the glowing edge of a medical drone. Instead of reacting aggressively, the drone softened its light and made a gentle humming sound, almost like a purr. The child laughed. Adults stared in disbelief. Tyrak followed the drones and felt something strange, trust. These machines, built by a species no one had seen in centuries, were not harming them. They were helping. Caring. Protecting. Meanwhile, outside, the Predator fleet formed a defensive ring around Varon 7. Their engines stayed bright. Their weapons remained armed. They looked ready to fight again if needed. It was clear now. Once awakened, the Predator fleet would not sleep again until the civilians were safe. Inside the Iron Requiem, Sable watched everything closely. Every breath, every injury, every movement. She monitored the station with the protection instincts of a guardian that had waited too long to fulfill her purpose. She whispered to herself, though no one could hear. This is what humans wanted. This is what we were made for. And for the first time in hundreds of years, the galaxy felt the presence of Deathworlders again. Not as conquerors. Not as monsters. But as unstoppable protectors. The quiet after the battle felt heavier than the battle itself. Varon 7 drifted in the glow of human warships, each one positioned like a guardian wall around the fragile research station. For the first time since the attack began, the scientists felt safe, truly safe. Tyrak stood at the main observation window, watching the Predator fleet move with slow, careful motions. The ships did not drift off casually. They stayed sharp, alert, as if danger could return at any second. He realized something important. These vessels had been asleep for centuries, but none of them had forgotten their duty. Suddenly, a holographic communication request appeared on the station's main screen. Sender, Iron Requiem, Human AI Command Node. Priority, high. The room fell silent. No one dared breathe. Tyrak accepted the call. A tall blue hologram formed in the center of the control room. It was a woman-shaped silhouette, soft, glowing, and calm. It was Sable, the AI of the Iron Requiem. Her voice was smooth and steady. Varon, 7, casualties detected. Structural damage confirmed. Human assistance offered. Everyone in the room stared at the figure as if seeing a ghost. An AI this advanced was something their species had never achieved. It felt real, alive, almost human. Tyrak stepped forward. "We thank you. Without your fleet, we would be dead." Sable tilted her head slightly, a very human-like gesture. "Humans designed us to protect life, any life. Gratitude is unnecessary. Survival is our goal." The scientists looked at each other. These words, this attitude, it sounded nothing like the myths of violent Deathworlders they had been told. It sounded like kindness with steel wrapped around it. Sable continued. "Our sensors detect emotional stress among your civilians. We will provide stabilization support." Many scientists blinked in confusion. Emotional support? From warships? But the words proved true. Medical drones entered the station with soft lights and calming tones. They brought warm crystal blankets that adjusted to each alien's body temperature. They created repair beams that fixed walls, floors, and broken machinery with quiet efficiency. Children followed the drones with fascination. Some even laughed. For the first time that day, the station felt alive again. Tyrak watched all of this, amazed. "Your fleet, it does not act like a war machine." Sable replied. "Humans believed strength means nothing unless it protects the weak. That belief lives inside us." A silence followed. A deep, powerful silence. A question no one dared to ask. As repairs continued, Tyrak finally asked the question everyone feared. "Where are humans now?" Sable paused. Her glowing form flickered gently, like she was searching through memories. "Humanity is not present in this region of the galaxy. Their reasons remain classified. Only one protocol remains: respond to distress calls and guard sentient life." The room grew even quieter. So the humans were truly gone. But their legacy wasn't. Their machines still obeyed their oldest command: protect life, no matter the cost. Before Tyrak could speak again, another alert flashed across the station. Incoming signals. Multiple. From neighboring systems. A wave of calls poured through, their neighbors, nearby settlements, distant colonies. Everyone had seen the Predator fleet wake up. Everyone wanted to know the same thing. Who answered the SOS? At first, the station crew panicked. If the galaxy discovered humans had returned, fear might spread. Old rivalries could ignite. Old empires might move against them. Tyrak opened the communication channel carefully. A dozen alien leaders appeared on the screen. Some looked afraid. Others curious. A few excited. One asked immediately, "Who saved your station? What species sent those warships?" Tyrak looked at Sable. Sable nodded gently. He faced the screen and spoke proudly. "Human warships. The Predator fleet answered our call." The reaction was instant. Gasps. Shock.